In order to do effective Facebook marketing, you need to understand your audience. You need to understand their age, location, what content they're consuming, and when. And you can find all this information if you come through here to your insights. Facebook will lay out all this information for you on a very easy to read and user-friendly platform. However, you can only go back as far as 28 days. If you're wanting more historic data, you will need to export the data, where you can choose whether you want to do page data or post data, video data, it's all there, and you can choose your date range. So you can actually go as far back as you want to go, but this will only come up as a spreadsheet and it can get a little confusing. If you go across to people, this is going to show you everything you need to know about who your audience is. So you're going to be able to see what countries they're from, the cities, languages, etc. If you're a small business, say based in Brisbane, Australia, and a local business, and you have a very large contingency of fans from a different country, a foreign country, this may suggest that the fans have been bought or they are not genuine fans, and this is something that you will need to go and have a look at. Another thing that's really important to have a look here, and for you to be able to understand whether your campaigns are actually working or not, have a look at who your fans are and have a look at the shape of this graph. You then want to go and have a look at the people that you've reached. The shape of this graph should look the same as what the shape of your fans graph did. And I also want to have a look at people engaged. So these three should really have much of the same shape. If they do, then you know that the type of content that you're putting out there is talking to your fans and you know that you're reaching the right people. This doesn't mean that you're necessarily talking to the right people for your business. It just means that the content that you are putting on your page is exactly the type of content that your fan base is looking for. Don't take this as an indication that you're getting it right if your content is wrong. Another really cool feature here is the ability to go and keep an eye on your biggest competitors. So while you're in overview, if you scroll down to the bottom, you can actually add pages to watch. So choose your top 4 competitors, add them to your watch list, and you can see how they are doing compared to you. So you can see how many likes they have, how many new likes they have from last week, how many posts they've done, and what sort of engagement they have. Don't be afraid to change these up a little bit. Here's an example where you're just not going to be able to compete with something like 4 Seasons. So go and find something that's closer to where you are and that you'll be able to compete with them and push your way up. It's just a really good way to keep yourself motivated and also to keep watch of what other people are doing around you. You also need to make sure that you understand how your posts are doing. If you come to the posts and you have a look at this first tab, this is going to show you when your fans are online. Okay, and you can choose your days. You can see that graph and how it changes per day. Now, when you're going to go and post, it's always best to post not at the maximum peak of when people are online, because they're already online. You may have missed all these people over here. So it's best to post at the bottom as it's starting to rise. Obviously, if that's too much time, then don't do that. But I can see this is rising fairly quickly. And if I post here, I'm actually going to reach all these people. And I can see that they are online for a fair amount of time before dropping off again. So looking at deciding when to do an organic post, it makes the most sense to me to hit just as that's starting to rise. You can have a look at what posts you published and you can see how they did. So you can see the date, the post. If you clicked on the post, it would bring it up. You'll be able to see the reach, the engagement, and whether you boosted or not. If you did boost, you can view your promotion results and you can see directly from here how they did. I have noticed this pop-up recently, which is asking you to go to the Creator Studio to find more insights. When we go across here, I'm not that impressed with the insights they're giving you. What I'm noticing is when you go to the overview, they're giving you the page overview, but it's very, very broad. There's not a lot of in-depth information in here. When I come through to audiences, a lot of this isn't feeding through. I'm not sure if this is something that they were beta testing or that they're fading out, but I'm just not seeing any data in here. I do notice when you go to the Instagram side of things, you do get a little bit of information here, but again, it's really broad. There's not a lot that you can see. It does give you a little bit more insight onto your audiences, but again, very little. I prefer to use the insights that we're getting directly from the page. There's a lot of really valuable information on Insights, so take the time to go through these tabs, get to know your audience, and get to know how your posts are being consumed. It's really important for when you develop a strategy.